Hey guys, welcome back to Last Word Sports. We're going to talk about the Jags versus Seahawks game and dive a little bit into the Rams Jags game. And maybe we talk about some of the trade rumors. So, first of all, starting off with the Jags Seahawks game. I think every week the offense underperforms. We kind of come in and say, they're learning the offense still. It's going to take time and everything will be okay. But we're 6 games in. And that's a third. That's a little over a third of the way through. You're starting to become who you are. I mean, people say 4 games in, you kind of know who teams are in this league, and so we're 6 games in, and this just might be who the Jags are at this point. I'm still holding out hope, but I think the drops, I think the penalties. This is something that we saw with Doug Peterson. I don't know if you remember the penalties repeatedly, and he would constantly come out and say, like guys just gotta, guys can't jump off sides, guys can't false start, and yeah, that's true. But I said then, when everyone is doing it, it's on coaching. If it was just one guy, pull that guy, whatever. Like one guy, like Jawan Taylor for the Chiefs, okay, that's just him. That's not like, a penalty issue. If there's several people on the O line or offense that are getting these penalties, it's on coaching at that point. And honestly, that's what Cohen said. This is why Cohen in these press conferences are exactly what you want. Except for one thing I'll get to. But he came right out and he said, it's on me. I'm the leader of this offense. This is my offense, and with all these penalties, it's on me. I'm not, doing the operation well enough. And I'm like, good, some accountability. Doug Peterson never did that. I mean, we saw it repeatedly, and I was just like, it's on coaching at that point. I know even Tony Baselli on the Jaguars happy hour would say, like, guys can't go off sides. Guys can't false start, It's about Jimmys and Joes, not X's and O's. And I said, like, but when everybody's doing it, it falls on the coach. It's almost like when you look back at how guys performed last year, like Devin Lloyd and Brenton Strange, who's ascended this year, and ETN, Trevor, just guys who were underperforming last year versus how they are this year. And you say, like, if everybody took a step back last year, that's on coaching. And you can see when they don't have the same coach, they're playing a lot better this year. So that's one thing I'll say. Penalties. The offense is just not working right now. I think it's a culmination of things. I think it is injuries. Robert Hainsey was out this game, and a lot of people are pointing to that as why the offensive line sucked. But from what I saw, honestly, went back rewatched. Jonah Monheim was probably the best offensive lineman out there, which is kind of funny that people are pinning it on Hainsey. Now, he was the best blocking. I don't know if his lack of communication was some of the issues with the stunts, because they ran a lot of stunts and stuff. But like, he was probably the best blocking lineman out there. I think we all knew who the worst was. I'm a Walker Little defender. We should have moved to Walker Little way earlier, a year or two before we actually did. I don't know why we held on to Cam Robinson so long. But Walker Little was horrific out there. And honestly, he's been the weak link all year. I don't like, he allowed the Trey Hendrickson. I think Danielle Hunter got him one time. He's got to be better. I mean, getting ragdolled by that backup linebacker, that to me, that's it. I would just, if I was Cohen, I would play that on replay in the team meeting. I would just let it play through 3 times, and just, you don't have to say anything, but you have the whole team out there, and you're playing that up there. I mean, it should speak for itself. Yeah, he was horrible. And the thing was, like, if it was Harrison, if it was Anton, I would cut him some slack, because I'd be like, the dude is like playing with one arm. He's got that huge cast on his elbow, and you can tell he doesn't have like full strength in it. And I'd be like, he's playing hurt. I give him credit, but like, you can't get pushed around like that. Walker Little's the only one on the line that I think is like completely healthy. I think everyone else is going through stuff right now, well, besides Monheim, and he's the one who got absolutely worked. If I was going to rank the O-line's performance, I'd probably say Monheim at 1, Cleveland at 2, Macari at 3, Harrison at 4. Harrison and McCarr were about even, and then Little at 5. But Little was horrible, and it sucks because he got bullied by DeMarcus Lawrence and Leonard Williams, who were very much power rushers. Uh, and you're going up against Jared Verse, who's probably the best power rusher in the NFL. So that's one thing to watch. Hopefully Hainsey is back, and because they have good DT there with Braden Fisk and Kobe Turner. Byron Young is no slouch either. Byron Young is a pretty good edge rusher as well. Very much a speed rusher. But offensively, I'm going to say this. Not a lot of people are saying it, and a lot of people are down on Trevor, and I kind of was as well, just because I was so frustrated with the offense. This was Trevor's best game of the year. This was. I know we didn't get the W and we beat the Chiefs, and a lot of people are like, oh, that was Trevor's best game. This was better than the Chiefs game. That scoring drive that we got to bring it within one score, Trevor converted 2 fourth downs. 1 passing, I think, 1 rushing. Yeah, the 4th down crossbody to Hunter Long. I think that was the end of the quarter. Then they switched the sides, and he had a read option. This was Trevor's best game by far. I mean, that crossbody throw to Hunter Long, that was great. I don't want you to do that again, buddy. That's franchise quarterback stuff. That's what we've been wanting. This is the thing with Trevor. He's this guy who, with his mechanics almost, he's like afraid to, not play textbook. He's very much focused on, line up right, throw it like this. And you want to, me personally, I want to see more of that gunslinger. I want to see the Josh Allen. I want to see the Patrick Mahomes version of him. Because we saw that in 21 when he took us to the playoffs. But he hasn't really done it since. He hasn't really had the opportunity to, per se. And whenever he does, it seems like the receiver drops the ball that he places in their hands. But he was under so much pressure. He was like getting out. Now I will say, at the beginning of the game, he misses Diami Brown on a deep post or something like that. And at that point, I'm like, dude, you gotta hit that. You've gotta hit that. And that kind of stayed with me because I was kind of like, you can't miss that. And I was like, Trevor sucks. This is a bad game by Trevor. And I kind of held on to that until after the game. I went back and rewatched, and I'm like, after that, Trevor was pretty much on point. Even the out route to Travis Hunter that was like too far, and like, you got to put that on him. Go back and rewatch it. Travis Hunter stopped running. Like, if he had kept running, that's a catch might be a first. It's at least a few yards away. And that actually got us into, I think after that play, there was a sack or something where we got into a 4th and long, like 4th and 6 or 4th and 11, something like that. And we punted. That wouldn't happen if Travis Hunter kept running and actually caught the ball Trevor threw. People and the broadcasters were like, yeah, Trevor's got to put that on his body. And me watching it, I was like, Trevor, you've got to hit the layups. You've got to hit the layups. But after watching it back, I was kind of like, that's on Travis. How many throws to BTJ were because BTJ slipped, he stopped running, whatever you want to call that play, or he just flat out dropped it? That dime, that was 3rd and 11 on a drive to potentially go tie the game up. 3rd and 11. By the way, these are not easy 3rd downs that Trevor was converting. These were 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 13, 14, whatever. And he was still finding ways to convert these things. Like, I was kind of like, goodness gracious, this is franchise quarterback stuff. And it just seemed like offensive line was pummeling him into the ground. No help there. Okay, fine. And then his receivers were dropping the ball. And it's kind of like, what do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? But that 3rd and 11 dig route to BTJ, throws it, hits him. No, it was not high. I don't care what anybody says. That was not a high throw. It was right here on the face mask for him to catch it with his hands, and he dropped it. And we're starting to get to the point where we have to ask, can BTJ go over the middle? I was kind of dismissive of that at first, like, oh, it's just overblown. But this is really a problem now. When you see this many drops, and especially in key moments like this, these are gotta have it moments. So it's very frustrating, and I think for the offense to succeed, we're gonna have to change some things. Well, one, you have to be able to run the ball. We weren't able to run the ball at all. I think we're gonna have to go as far as the run game takes us right now. And on offense with receivers, BTJ has to get out of the slump. Hunter Long even had a drop pass. I'm like, dude, you can't be the starting tight end after when our starting tight end's out, have a wide open catch and drop it like that. It's just you can't be doing that. Travis Hunter, you got to get him more involved. We've been asking for this for weeks, and Cohen just refuses. I don't know why. Get him on little gadget plays. I don't know, but you just got to get the ball in his hands. I mean, you see all these offenses. I mean, look at how the Rams use Puka Nacua. Do that with Travis Hunter. Just get him the ball. But with that being said, I think Parker Washington might be the go-to guy on offense now. With how many drops BTJ has and just how little they use Hunter, I think Parker Washington, and you kind of saw it. There was a third down where Trevor threw it like a comeback route to him, and it wasn't even close to him, and it went out of bounds, and we had to punt. I think that was after the Travis Hunter stopped running out route. But in that, I was kind of like, dude, we have Travis Hunter and BTJ on the left side together, and we have Hunter Long and Parker Washington on the right side, and he doesn't even look towards his left to see BTJ and Travis Hunter. He just is focused solely on Parker Washington. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And rewatching that play, though, there was nobody open. Like, Travis Hunter and BTJ were not open. Now, maybe that's bad concepts. On the concepts, from what I've been watching, the offense is kind of weird. I'm not a huge... It's weird because I think his play calling has been masterful by Cohen. It's been really good. That getting blown up in the screen passes only to hit a fake screen for a touchdown later, masterful. But there's been a lot of times where receivers are in close vicinity of each other, and I'm not a huge fan of that, but we'll wait till it really burns us. I don't know. I'm not going to critique that, but that play where he didn't go to the BTJ and Travis Hunter, they weren't open. And he threw it to Parker Washington. It didn't make it. It was fourth down. We ended up punting. So this was just a long way to say this was Trevor's best game. I think what he showed working out of structure under pressure was unbelievable. The touchdown pass to Tim Patrick, that's a franchise-level play. That's a franchise quarterback play. And I don't know why, but Trevor, when he tries to play perfect quarterback, where he just stands in the pocket, tries to line up everything correctly, and, he wants to play picture-perfect quarterback, he's kind of like slow. He doesn't want to rip it, He doesn't want to see it and rip it into the seam. He wants to think about, is that open enough, and then throw it. He's kind of slow to make that decision. When he was being rushed, he was quick to make decisions, and you're kind of like, okay, but that kind of leads to interceptions. It were some of his best balls. I mean, there was one where he was getting rushed, about to get sacked, and he looked over, saw Hunter Long, threw it to him, and it was 3rd and 11 or something like that, and he picked it up. And that was just almost like a little dump-off pass. That's good quarterbacking. That's what we need from Trevor. So maybe this rushed mindset is actually what needed to be instilled into Trevor. I mean, he worked great out of structure. So yeah, on the offense, this might be what we have because, I mean, I've been waiting every week for them to look like the Buccaneers offense, and it hasn't happened. And I don't know if it will this year, maybe next year. I don't know, but it is a little encouraging that I think things are starting to click for Trevor. I think this was definitely Trevor's best game of the year. So take that for what you will. Again, clean up the penalties. O-line needs to get better. And BTJ needs to stop dropping passes. I mean, I'm so done with it. I'm so done with it. Defensively, I don't have much to say here because a lot of people, I think, were clowning on the defense and even getting on Dewey. Defense, I think this was a great game by them. I have one critique. Watching the game, I was kind of like, there's no pressure. There wasn't. I was kind of like, why aren't they blitzing? Well, to be honest, they held the Seahawks, who were one of the best offenses in the league, to 20 points. And watching it back, they did a good job. like they're stopping the runs on first and second. They ran the ball on first and second a lot. Seahawks did. Stopped the run first and second, and then third down they played coverage, got them off the field. There was not a lot of time. There was only a handful of times where you'd be like, you got to blitz there. The touchdown to JSN down the seam, Darnold got that out real quick, and he was being pressured. Like, that was not an issue of you need to blitz there. Like, that was just a perfect play. You beat us. Like, even Cohen said, like, they just got us with the perfect play, honestly. And I'll let that be. I'm not blaming Dewey for that play either. Like, that's a tough situation for Dewey to be in. You're on a defense that's very aggressive, trying to make a play, and so you're coming up on that over on the tight end and letting JSN beat Newsome over the top. I don't know how JSN outran Newsome, because JSN's critique coming out of college was the speed. But anyway, I think Newsome will be fine. I look forward to seeing him match up with Devontae Adams in the next game. I think that'll be a great matchup. But defense, I thought played well. I'm not worried about it. I thought they played a great game. I'm not critiquing them. Secondary, hats off to him. Monteric Brown played well. Travis Hunter played well. Jordan Lewis played well. I still think Dewey had those 2 bad plays. Yes, they sealed the game. Yes, they were key plays. That's 2 plays out of how many? I'm not mad at them. The defensive line, though, I am mad at, because we're having to blitz to get pressure. There's no interior push when the guards are the weakest part. Well, not Zabel, but the one guard, Bradford, was apparently the weakest part of that offensive line. And I didn't see Eric Armstead all day. I didn't see Mason Smith hardly at all. And I didn't really see Trayvon Walker either. I think he went out a little bit because I think he got hurt again. I don't know. I know Lloyd went out. Alukin had a good game. But they're on the line. They're the linebackers, not the line. But my biggest gripe with the defensive line, one, there's no interior pressure, but also Josh Allen. He's mid. He's mid. I mean, the dude he's got half a sack in 6 games, I think, something like that. And you could say, like, oh, he gets all these pressures, blah, 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 blah. He did nothing this game. He didn't have one pressure. Josh Allen didn't have a single pressure this game. You can't have your highest paid defensive end do that. I expect more from Josh, and I'm rooting for him. You know, he's one of my favorite players, and I really hope he turns it around. But so far, he has sucked this year. He's not done anything. He impacted the Texans game. I think that's about it. He didn't do anything in the Seahawks game. So yeah, Josh Allen got to be better. I think that's pretty much it for the defense. Special teams. I have a bone to pick with special teams. I don't know what happened. Logan Cook was the best punter in the league, and now he has sucked. I don't know what happened, but like he used to be pinning guys in the 10, you know, and now it's like 30-yard line, 20-yard line when it should be like down to the 5. I don't know what's going on with special teams because he sucked. And then don't even get me started on Cam Little. Cam Little, you cannot miss kicks. That's your only job. You make a 70-yarder in preseason. Everybody puts you in the Hall of Fame, and then you miss an extra point. First one he's missed in his career, and he misses a 50-yard field goal. Inexcusable. You've got 1 game left. If you mess up in this one, we can't hold on to you. You gotta start bringing in kickers. If he misses one, if we go to London and he misses 1 or 2 field goals, extra points, I don't care. You're gonna have to bring competition in because this is ridiculous. You can't give up points like that. You can't be scared to send your kicker out. You should be confident in your kicker. So, and even kickoffs, he's horrible in kickoffs. He's terrible at placing the ball inside the 20. And this is where like it's kind of tough because last year both of them were good, and it's the same special teams coordinator. They kept the same guy, Heath Farwell. But when both guys are sucking, is it a coaching issue with the coordinator? I don't know. Just something to think about. So special teams, you have to clean it up. Ray on Lane, I'll give you a shout out here. You've been fantastic in punt coverage. You killing it. I mean, dude, what a stud on special teams. So Ray on Lane, that's a good job. Yeah. So for the Rams Jags game, no Puka Nakua. That helps a lot, but also we are Devontae Adams' son. He kills us every time we play him. Um, he had a big game when he was with the Raiders against us, and he had a big game when he was with the Jets against us. Every time people say he's washed, he's just like, oh, hold on, I'm playing Jacksonville. And he goes off for like, whatever. So I want to see Newsome on him. I want to see Hunter on him. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Monteric on him because he's a very physical corner. That's probably the third guy I'd want to see on him, though. So give me Newsome and Hunter on Adams. Tutu Atwell is a speedy guy at receiver. The Rams' offensive line is okay. Matthew Stafford, obviously Hall of Fame quarterback. So Kyron Williams, not just a good running back, but he's an excellent receiving back. So this is going to be a big game for Jaguars linebackers and coverage and safeties. So it's going to be a tough game. The offense is going to need to score because the Rams' offense is going to always score points. They stuttered a little bit the last two games, but they're going to get back on track. I know there's no Nakua, but when his back is up against the wall, that's when Sean McVay thrives. So the Rams' offense is going to score points. Yeah, no Nakua. But I saw somebody say this, and I completely agree, is we never capitalize on the injuries of other teams. We never do. I mean, the Seahawks came in here with three of their top corners injured, and we didn't do nothing about it. We tried. Actually, we made it part of our game plan, so props to Cohen on that. But the thing is, we couldn't stand in the pocket long enough, and even when we did, the guys weren't open. There wasn't a lot of running free receivers. So we don't take advantage of the injuries like that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the secondary matchup with the Rams now because I really want to see like Hunter and Newsome on Adams. I think that'll be a really fun matchup. Another thing about the Seahawks game. Let me go back for a second because one critique I have with Cohen, really with football in general, is I love analytics. I really do. I work in it. The going for two is stupid. I've never seen a team go for two on their first touchdown and it actually work out for them. So that needs to stop because it really does hamper you. Go for one the first time, go for two the second time. If you tie the game up, if we had kicked the field goal and it was 13-20, and then you score and it's 19-20, and you want to go for two there to take the win, I understand that. That is different. And you might say, oh, it lowers your chances of success, I hate the going for two first, and then you have to get the going for two. You're no longer making a statement. It is desperation. That's a stupid move, and I really hope he learns from it. I don't think he will, though. He seems like a guy who does whatever the analytics tell him to do. And I think this is going to be normal by him and a lot of coaches in the NFL, despite it being stupid and never working. Don't go for two when you're down 14. Don't go for two after the first touchdown when you're down by 14. That's stupid. Take the points. Back to the Rams. Jags offense, though, versus Rams defense is a tough one. You wonder if this is a challenge to the Jags offensive line where they say, like, they embrace it and they say, okay, we got our butts handed to us. Let's go out there and step up and, block this line. But it kind of makes you wonder, like, has they just faced bad defensive lines? Because the Panthers' defensive line is awful. It's the worst in the league, actually. It has the least amount of sacks in the league. Texans have a good defensive line, but, like, Anton owns Will Anderson. So that's probably not a good reading either. The 49ers even have one of the worst defensive lines in the league. They are like second to last in sacks, something like that. Dang, who do we play? Bengals. Bengals actually got pressure on Trevor. I mean, that's how he threw that pick. So, Dang, who else did we even play? I can't believe I'm forgetting this. Anyways, doesn't matter. Let me look this up. Yeah, so we got the Jaguars, Bengals, Texans, Niners, Chiefs. Okay, so yeah, I was just forgetting Chiefs. And the Chiefs D line got blocked up, but they don't have any edge rushers either. So is this a situation where we just played bad defensive lines? Could be. So it's going to be a big challenge for the Jags offensive line. I think if you're going, you have to come in a creative way to kind of hide that. Whether it's more screens, whether it's moving the pocket in the sense of, like a snap and kind of a drift one way or something like that. I don't know. You got to come up with different ways. You got to chip a lot. Have LeQuint out. This is a big game for LeQuint Allen to come in and pass coverage. Run the ball. That's going to help a lot. Be able to run the ball is going to give Trevor a lot of opportunity in the play action game. So that's going to be big. No Brenton Strange still. I think Hainsey will be back. He traveled with the team. He should be back. No Devin Lloyd, though. And then Cam Little, make your kicks. I think this. I know people are saying, like, oh, would you have taken 4-2 before the season? Heck yeah, I would have. Doesn't matter, though, because this team is better than I thought they were going to be. So beat the teams you should beat. You should have at least, it should have been closer with these Seahawks. I think you really should have beaten them, to be honest, but whatever. This Rams game, this is a tough game. Rams are arguably arguably the best team in the NFL. They lost by a peanut punch at the 1 yard line on a bogus play, and then they lost by a blocked field goal to Philadelphia. They could arguably be 6-0 right now. Go out if you want to make a statement. Go out there and beat the Rams. They traveled early to London. The Jaguars did. It's kind of to me that's kind of stupid because we've already learned not to do that in the past, but they're like, oh, due to our sports science and people in the building, we think it's a smart move, and it's just like, you better win, because that's all you're going to hear about is neglecting years of history of where we know we do better when we travel. Was it midweek, late week? I don't know, whatever. We usually don't travel this early though. Theoretically, it sounds nice where you just get in early and adjust and are ready to play, but whatever. Trade, by the way, big trade. If there's a trade, it's not Simmons. Stop asking for Jeffrey Simmons. Titans are not trading him, so stop that. Dexter Lawrence, that's too much. We're clearing up cap space for something, so Quinn Williams maybe? That'd be great. Quinn Williams would be a huge find. I did see that there's, maybe Jordan Davis on the Eagles. I wouldn't be mad at that. Malik Collins on the Browns, I've been hearing, has been killing it. I don't know much about him, but I heard he's been killing it and might be and we already have been doing business with the Browns, so maybe that's an area. He's an interior lineman for the Browns, defensive lineman. People asking for a left tackle, stop it. Like, we're not. Everybody and their mother wants a left tackle. I'm not trading a first and a second or something like that and Walker Little for a left tackle. It's just stupid. Let Walker Little prove if he's a franchise left tackle or not for this season. If he's not, draft one. It's not that hard. But defensive tackle, I think that's where we need help. Maybe even edge. I don't know. But I would definitely say look out for, if you want the big fish, Quinn Williams would be my pick for the big fish. I don't know if that happens. So I think it's going to be something mid, something like smaller. I love Calais Campbell, so it could be Calais Campbell, but it's not Dexter Lawrence. That's too much. And it's not Jeffrey Simmons. So, yeah, let me know who you guys want the trade to be for, your theories on who it could be for. Also, people asking for tight end, get out of here. I mean, it doesn't make sense. Brenton Strange is going to be back in like 4 games. I'm not trading a bunch of stuff for like David Njoku or Mark Andrews. If it's like a ham sandwich, sure, why not? But like I don't see that happening. So just get D-line help. That's all I'm asking for. And that should be good enough. So yeah, let me know who you guys want. Sorry the video went kind of long, but yeah. I'll see you guys next time, and go Jags.